First and foremost, I just want to say thank you for hosting us. I know you all are busy, and Brittany and I have been hoping to get this scheduled for a little over a month now, so it is. I'm excited, especially during your guys' busy season, to be here. My name is Andrew, and I represent Enviro-Decon Mold Remediation Services. And back here is Evan. He's our kind of jack of all trades guy around Enviro-Decon. He does our websites, he does audio visual now, he does remediations, everything. If you ask him to build a bridge, he would do that too because he's just smart. So
thanks, Andrew.
And this is Wendy, our office assistant. She is the absolute best. When you call us to book an inspection or to book a job, you'll be talking with Wendy, and she'll be taking you from the inspection to the job. Absolutely love her, so thankful that she's with us, and we couldn't do what we do without her. So, yeah, just again, short introduction today. It is, you're going to get 2 credits for being here today with me. Although the presentation is only 4 hours, you will get 2 credits, so bear with us. We've entitled this, Don't Let Mold Stop the Sale, okay? In long and in short, mold, you guys all know. If none of you have dealt with mold during a sale, awesome. It will hit you. But if you haven't, now you know who to call. If you have, you understand that mold can stop the sale or pause a sale, give you a road bump. It's really not all that great to run into mold when you're trying to sell or buy a house. So we are here to bridge that gap for you and to make sure you all get to the closing table. Okay?
Thank you so much for being here.
Oh, it's an honor. It's truly an honor. This is what we do. We do about 30 or 40 of the. Hey, yes, again, our pleasure, really. I do about 30 or 40 of these presentations a year to insurance companies, to realtors like you all, small businesses even I've done a few for. So we're kind of everywhere because again we're pretty passionate not only about what we do, but about making sure that your homes are healthy so that you and your clients can be healthy. So, a little bit about me real quickly. I have a background in professional golf management, graduated from Ferris State University with a professional golf management degree. Basically all that means I know how to sell stuff, but I really like selling golf stuff. I was training to get my PGA card so I could be a professional tour player. I met my wife instead, which was the second greatest thing that ever happened to me.
What was the first?
Giving my life to God. So I was born and raised in Chicago. I am a huge Cubs fan. The Pope is a Cubs fan, even though he said he's a Sox fan, by the way. Currently living in Hastings. My background, I do have a pretty big background in music, just like Evan does. But again, my sales experience, I used to sell real estate for Greenridge. Sorry, Bellabay. Adam Parlberger is one of the greatest humans that I've ever met in my life. And medical sales. So I've been everywhere. I've sold pretty much everything, but I am most passionate about mold remediation because, as we see here, they found black mold in my house. I had that growing for me, and it gave me cancer. Talk about that in a little while. But, again, I am a cancer survivor. I've got 8 kids, 1 wife, 2 dogs, and her second litter of puppies. So I'm basically giving them away now if anybody wants them.
What kind?
So the mom is she's a Australian Shepherd and miniature poodle. Okay. She's absolutely adorable, and the dad is just a big dope. He's King Charles Cavalier and poodle as well.
It's gonna be a really interesting mix.
Oh, they're so stinking cute. Like they're adorable.
You say Aussie because I love Aussie.
Yeah. So again, the mom, she has.
Not need a puppy.
Are you kidding?
Yeah. I'll leave one in a box at the front door tomorrow.
I'm
So.
thinking about breeding mine actually.
Yeah, she's again. This is her second litter, and she's done awesome
I'm crazy
both
Brittany.
times. These are my 8 kids and my beautiful wife. Again, this is my why. This is why I wake up every morning, passionate about killing mold. But again, everybody has a why. In any sales training that you guys have had, or if Brittany has given you, everybody has a why, right? And this is my why right up there. So who is Enviro-Decon? We are a mold, odor, smoke, meth, and other decontamination service. We do specialize in mold remediation and odor remediation. Those are the 2 big ones for you all. I've done several different inspections for feces for hoarding. You're eating, I know that, so I won't go into too much detail, but what our product does, it literally works at the molecular level to break apart the chemical bond that is a contaminated product or contaminant, like mold, like meth, like smoke odor, pet odor, all of that. Okay, our product effectively remediates it. It's a green and earth-friendly product, and again, that's something we're very passionate about as well. You know, why would we kill something harmful with something harmful? Doesn't make sense. Have been in business successfully for over 18 years, serving the Grand Rapids area and the entire state. We just wrapped up a job that was in Charlevoix. We go into Kalamazoo, Lansing, Muskegon, anywhere there's a need, we will go. So keep that in mind. We've serviced the Ludington area before. If you guys have a house with mold, give us a call. We'll take care of it for you. We're a small business with big values. Again, not too many people. We don't have 100 employees. We're not trading on the stock market. Born and bred locally, but we've got huge values. We treat everybody like your family. Whether it's an insurance deal, we don't jack the prices up like some other remediation companies do. We don't have special pricing for anybody. You get the same price, the exact cost quote. We do quotes, not estimates, so that if you come to us, you don't have to worry about during the remediation, unless there's more work that's found, which we wouldn't see in the inspection anyways. We're not going to say, hey, yep, it's actually another $6,000. Sorry about your clients, but now that we've got you on the hook, you owe us more money. That's not going to happen with us. Our owner, he assisted in the Hurricane Katrina cleanup, and again, also we did service folks for Hurricane Ian as well. That's where he fell in love with mold remediation. That's where he got his start in mold remediation. He saw the need, he saw what the product that we use can do and do effectively, and he absolutely was sold. He was totally in love with it. He put down his crown of being a very successful electrician and said, no, I like mold remediation better. So we do have our own chemist and earth-friendly product lines. That does include not just our mold remediation product, but laundry, carpet cleaner, green earth-friendly bug killer that does deter ticks and mosquitoes. Perfect time of year to get a hold of that. So yeah. So why mold remediation? Kind of a silly question as a mold salesman, so to speak, but you guys all know you can't really sell a home where there's mold present. I understand the market today that there's a lot of houses that you would have sold maybe 10 years ago where they're saying, hey, you know what? I'm going to give you $75,000 over asking price, and I'm going to waive all the inspections. Just give me the house. We need somewhere to live. I'm living in my in-laws' house. I get that's the market right now. If they don't disclose it on the seller's disclosure, which I'm sure you all probably know, mold isn't even an option to check on the seller's disclosure. All right. Wendy and I looked it over a couple months ago, and I was just laughing at some of the stuff that's actually on there, but mold isn't. It is illegal to convey a home where there's mold present and it was not remediated. I had a realtor, a very seasoned realtor a few months ago tell me that is absolutely false. We checked with GRAR. GRAR said it is illegal. It's illegal. It's a contaminant. It's a biohazard. It is illegal to sell a house where there's mold present or a plan to remediate. That would mean having an agreement with us, like again, a quote with us saying, okay, we're going to remediate on this day. The buyer is going to pay for it. There will be no mold in this home after we're done.
So where would we put that then if it's not on the seller disclosure? Should we put it on the, you know what I mean? Like, do we add that on the seller disclosure?
So again, it's a slippery slope because if you're representing a seller and they don't even know there's mold in it until the air quality test, or if they don't have an air quality test, then you don't really know. But they're like, hey, our basement kind of smells like mold, and I think there might be mold up there.
That's not part of the environmental section of the seller disclosure.
That's where I would put it.
Okay.
That's where I would put it because it is an environmental biohazard, right?
I sold a $1.1 million property one time. There was nothing on the seller's disclosure about it. When we did title work, there was like a $30,000 lien for mold remediation, and that was literally the only inkling that I knew. Like it
Yeah.
is an
Because they
issue.
didn't pay for it, they had it done, but
It was done, and then they were planning to pay for it out of the proceeds of the sale of the
Yep.
house. But like if I hadn't seen that on the title work, there would have been no way for them to notify me
Yeah.
at all.
And unfortunately,
Which is
that's
scary.
right.
$1 million property. Like what?
Yep.
What are we doing?
they still buy it.
I've spoke with certain title officers that say they will notify them before closing of any liens like that, like mechanics liens. It really, I mean, you guys all know, it depends on who you're dealing with. If you're a buyer, obviously buyer beware and do all that you can to figure it out. But you have limits, right? Like, no idea. I didn't know until I looked at the title paperwork, right? We run into a lot, obviously. You can have inspections that waive, it's a cheaper inspection, but you can waive the air quality testing, and that's, I would say, a majority of when we get phone calls, they say, hey, it showed up. I don't see any. I have no idea where it is, but this, in the air quality test, we had mold show up. We go in, we see it. It's either in the attic or the basement or under a sink or something. Once you're in that process, whether it's the inspection period or before you have even gotten to the title paperwork yet, you have options both as a buyer and a seller. We usually catch it in the process where the buyers and sellers can negotiate a little bit. And we do receive payments through closing, so it kind of makes it easier on the sellers. And you have some options there.
That's huge.
Yeah.
You will take payment at closing.
Yep, it helps a lot of people out. A lot of people out. Yeah, so again, why mold remediation? Because the 4 molds that we see in homes, every single one of them are toxic. Now, there's molds that are growing 10 feet out the window here that aren't toxic. They're naturally occurring molds, like Basidiospores, Cladosporium, other dinosaur names like that. You can breathe those in, and unless you are highly allergic to them, you'll have zero response to them. Absolutely none. Actually, pet dander is worse for you than some of those molds. But the 4 that we remediate almost on a daily basis, Aspergillus, Penicillium, Chaetomium, and Stachybotrys. Stachybotrys and Chaetomium are the 2 black molds. Chaetomium was the one that they found in my house that we had no idea about. And when I was diagnosed with cancer, it was pretty severe. The doctor told me it was the 4th quarter, and the other team had the ball. We treated it holistically, so I never had a single round of chemo, not a single round of anything toxic like that. And so thank God I'm here today to talk to you guys, but Chaetomium almost killed me. When I did get blood testing, I tested very, very high, like 10 times the amount of what really is kind of normal in a body for mold. That's the stuff that we kill every day. That's the stuff when we remediate your homes, we're covered head to toe with respirating masks, we're wearing gloves, we're protected. That's why mold remediation is a business today, because it's literally killing people. Doctors will say it's, something else, but you have to have specialized blood work to test for mold. And you really don't know what it is until you get that specialized testing, because almost all of the symptoms from mold poisoning and toxicity are very similar to a flu or a cold. Headaches, fatigue, just kind of what we would say, oh, I'm just tired. My kids had a soccer practice, and then the dog ran away and we had to find him, and then Evan took a video and I looked bad, so I had to edit it, and all kinds of stuff. So it's kind of a hidden danger, and we can find it and remediate it for you. Not only that, but again, the allergens. Every single person in this room is allergic to mold. Even the pets that we have at home are allergic to mold. Adverse health effects. Honestly, there's hundreds of adverse health effects. If you looked it up, you would find all of them. It is compromising to the immune system. That's what mold breaks down first, is your immune system. Once it breaks us down, it starts causing things like cancer, again, fatigue, permanent neurological disorders. It's insane. Plus it stinks and it's unsightly. Nobody likes seeing mold. Our services effectively eliminate mold, both the surface, what we see on the surface. So if you're in a basement and you see mold on a wall in a basement, it effectively remediates that and its roots and the airborne mold. So the spores are what actually is what is getting us sick, the airborne element. The one thing that we'll say pretty often is there's two types of mold remediations, the ones that work and the ones that don't. It kind of sounds funny, but the ones that work are the ones that treat the air like we do, and the ones that don't work are the ones that just maybe bleach the spot to make it go away. The surface, that is, it doesn't kill the roots like we do. Very, very important. If you guys don't choose Enviro-Decon, I'm sorry, but also make sure that whatever service you do choose is treating the air, because if they're not treating the air, it's the first of the two mold remediations, the ones that don't work. We effectively remediate against smoke, pet odors, bacteria, and viruses. We do effectively remediate COVID. Volatile organic compounds, so that's when you paint your house. That smell kind of smells nice, but it's toxic. Our product breaks apart that chemical bond, just like mold. Meth labs, fentanyl, tear gas chemicals, no match for our product. We effectively remediate every single one of those as well. So again, I'm just going to walk you through quick what a process looks like if you guys have a home, you found mold, now what? Step one, you're going to call Wendy. Wendy's going to say, hey, thanks for calling. I hope you enjoyed the Jimmy John's. It was fun with you guys. We took all your beers out of the bottom of your fridge. It was awesome. But you would schedule an free on-site inspection with one of our inspectors. Yep. And we do understand that you guys have a very limited window, so we do have a standard operating procedure that if you guys call us before 4 p.m., it's kind of a loose number, it depends on where our inspectors are, you will get an inspection the same day. So, step two, receive a game plan addressing the source of the issue, a remediation plan, and a quote. Again, this is an estimate. This is a quote. We're giving you the price of what it's going to cost. Okay, in 24 hours, 24 to 48 hours or less. Okay, and again, we understand that's super important to you guys because when you call us, it's an emergency, right?
Yeah.
Plain and simple. Step three, our expert remediation using our foaming and fogging processes with our green, earth-friendly, non-toxic product. Most projects are completed in a day. Okay. If you have sellers that want the remediation done before they move out, we can treat their house and they'll be sleeping in their beds the exact same night. It's super important. Another thing too, I cannot stress more. We're leaving you with literally, unless you've been to an oxygen bar in Colorado, you're going to be breathing the most clean and pristine air you've ever breathed in your life after we're done. Again, we're eliminating not only the mold and the mold spores that are in the air getting us sick, but we're eliminating volatile organic compounds from carpets, chairs, desks, paints, cleaners. We're eliminating viruses, bacteria, other allergens that are so prevalent this time of year. So again, you're going to be breathing in the most pristine air you've ever breathed in your life. Step four, another big one for you guys. You're going to receive a certificate of completion and a lifetime warranty that sticks with the house. Doesn't stick with the seller for another 7 days. It sticks with the house. So your buyers, if you're representing a buyer, your buyers are taking on that lifetime warranty. If there was ever another issue with mold in the area that we treated, you call Wendy and you scream at Wendy. And then Wendy screams at me for saying, why did you make me take that phone call? No, I'm just kidding. But you would call us and say, hey, listen, that basement you treated on 123 Smith Street, yeah, there's mold back. Go fix it. And we'll say, yep, do it for absolutely nothing. If there's mold identified in a separate issue or a separate room or an attic instead of a basement, obviously it's not going to be a no-cost remediation. But we also address what's going on, why the mold was there, instead of just the mold. We love our customers, but we don't ever want to see them again, right? We want to take care of the mold and make sure it's gone once and for all. Makes sense, right? Yeah. So these are just some pictures real quick. Typical of what we see here. This is an instance in an attic where there was a pop vent right here. You see there's no mold around the pop vent because it's breathing. The attic is breathing okay on that side of the home. On this side where there's no ventilation, there's mold. This is pretty typical. This was one of my inspections a few years ago where they didn't have gutters, they didn't have downspouts, anything like that. So rain was falling off the house, ending up in the corner of the house over on the outside. And obviously there's all this moisture, all that mold. So we did what was called the reverse sloping repair, which is just basically waterproofing the outside of the home, making sure the home or the water was going about 30 inches away from the home so that mold wasn't growing in the basement. More attic fun. By the way, just a fun fact, it gets about 150 degrees in attics on days like this. So say a prayer for our guys. This was a attic inspection. I was kind of there was insulation that was going to right just above that bathroom vent. And when I saw that mold on the gable end of that wall, I'm like, that makes no sense. There's nothing there. Where's that coming from? Well, I pulled away at the insulation and I saw that there was a loose bathroom exhaust ductwork that was just spewing hot air on that sheathing. Eventually what happens in the wintertime when that attic is 20, 30 degrees and there's warm air getting pumped into it, you're going to get mold. This was a leaking chimney in East Grand Rapids. Absolutely gorgeous home, but there was a ton of mold and a ton of leaks in that house. Took care of all of it. More gross mold. Gross mold is
I saw
fun.
that basement one last night.
Did you really?
Yeah, one just looked just like it.
This one here on the left, yeah, I think your all's right. Whatever, that side. Terrible kitchen leak that they had no idea. They said their house just always smelled musty. They didn't have any idea what was going on. When I looked under the basement, I said, you have a very severe leak, and it's leaking on a GFCI that at one point caught fire. They had no idea. Their home almost caught on fire, and they had no idea. So I'm like, hey, not only are we going to kill your mold, but we're going to keep your house from setting on fire.
What was causing that one?
Well, sink that wasn't, yeah. Penguins are my favorite animal. Wendy knows this. I was absent from the office on National Penguin Day a few weeks ago. Yeah, not that it matters, but I was really sad about that. We were going to party pretty hard. So what sets us apart from the rest, right? I did a count. There's over 30 different mold remediation companies in Grand Rapids alone, right? Number one, our products set us apart. We use green, earth-friendly products. We've been in business for almost 20 years now. We get maybe 2 or 3 callbacks a year, and it's usually because, again, not because the product didn't work, but because there's a separate issue somewhere else in the home. And the homeowners were a little bit concerned. Our products, again, the way that it works, it's at the molecular level. Okay, so this is important to understand because we're not just putting perfumes over it. We're not just scraping it off. There are some companies that on those pictures that we saw, they're literally sandblasting the mold, which is only taking care of the surface. But not only that, the mold is still present. The mold is still in the attic or it's still in the basement. And not only that, but there's still spores in the air. Okay, we literally take care of the surface mold, the roots of the mold, which is called the hyphae and the mycelium of the mold, and then we're taking care of the air as well, right? We're taking care of all 3 components that are active and dangerous in mold. Yeah, I guess that's it for that. I could nerd out really hard, but I'll try to get you guys out of here on time. Our experience. I mentioned Evan knows how to build a bridge. He knows how to take a video. He also knows how to kill mold, right? We're super thankful for Evan. Wendy can take a phone call and she'll know exactly where to send you, right? If she doesn't have the answers, she sends you to me. Our experienced staff, we've got remediators that have seen pretty much everything. There's not too much that scares them off, and again, they're not too scared to go jump into the attic when it's 150 degrees and take care of your clients so that you guys can get to the closing table. Again, that's the begin all and end all for you guys, right? Excellent. And you guys understand what it means to have satisfied customers, right? It's on the signature email of so many different realtors. The biggest compliment for me is a referral, right? I would say about 70% of our business is referral business. The other 30% is you guys. But again, it's important for us to nail these jobs. We don't want to just kill the mold, but we want to treat, we want to mitigate what caused the mold in the first place. You guys don't want to have to call Andrew and Wendy 6 months after our remediation and say, hey, it's back. My customer's mad at me because I referred you, so make them not mad at me, right? Again, air purification, so important. Literally a life-saving measure. If you don't go with Enviro-Decon, which again, I sure hope you do. I sure hope we earn your business. But if you don't, that's the first question you need to ask. Hey, this Enviro-Decon company said they would treat the air. Do you do anything for that? And if they say, yeah, well, we have these reverse air machines and reverse osmosis this and that and air purifiers and so that's going to work for the time that we're there. But then when we leave, you're going to have mold spores still in your house. Yeah, we'll do that for you. Not acceptable. They're not taking care of the issue. They're not killing the spores. They're just displacing them. When we fog your home, let's say, what's your name?
Cassie.
Cassie. That's my niece's name. She just got married. When Cassie calls Andrew and says, hey, Andrew, I think I have mold in my house. What sense would it make if you have some basement mold? We just cut the drywall out, say, there you go, Cassie. Would that make sense to you? We're not treating, again, the three components of the mold. Surface, the roots, and then airborne. Air purification is arguably the most important part of mold remediation. And again, out of those over 30 companies in Grand Rapids, I counted, according to their websites, only 5 companies, one including us, Enviro-Decon, that actually treats the air. And not only that, but if you guys are conveying a home and you have a pre and a post test for air purification or for air quality. So you call us, we mitigate your mold, take care of that, and then there's a post test and mold shows up. Guess who's going to be mad at Andrew? You. Wendy will be too. So again, arguably the most important part of mold remediation. The whole home air purification. What's important about this is we're not just treating the area where the mold was found, but we can literally treat, and we will, every single remediation, we fog every single square inch of the house. Evan does it all day, every day if he's not hanging out with me in the office, right? Our fog, again, it's the same product we use on the actual surface. It's green, earth friendly. It can literally deionize the mold. It can deionize meth, fentanyl. It deionizes anthrax, believe it or not. But I can spray it over a newborn baby's bed. It's gentle enough for that, but it's strong enough to actually take care of these life-threatening issues. All right, time to wrap it up. Does anybody have any questions right now?
What do you charge for your services?
Way too much money.
Way too much?
Yeah. No, so our baseline for an attic, because attics are what we treat realtors the most for, is about $3,000.
Okay.
Yep.
How long does it take? Like if you're going out to a house, to an attic, roughly how long are you there?
8 hours. 8 hours. And now we need a 4-hour period from the time we lock the door until the time that the homeowner can get back into the home. Now, again, I mentioned I fog I don't. The remediation teams will fog every square inch of the home. Okay? Now, that fog needs to dissipate so that we can breathe that air without coughing. Now, it's a green earth friendly product, so it's not going to kill you if you breathe it, but it can irritate the eyes a little bit, irritate the throat, the nose. So we need that 4 hours for it to dissipate to a healthy, acceptable level. So most of our jobs start at 9 o'clock. The homeowner can be back. Sometimes sooner if it's a smaller job.
So you're saying like the surfaces, like there's not gonna be any like film. I don't know how any of this works, so I'm speaking, dumb it down for me, I guess. There's gonna be like a film of any kind, like on the baby's crib, or they don't have to put things away.
No, so the only thing you'd have to put away are like pet dishes, exposed food. So again, yeah, we can treat everywhere. Now, if you have like granite, countertops that you may see some film,
Okay.
you wipe it off with Windex and it's good. It's non-toxic, non-corrosive. Never had an allergic reaction to it. Even the absolute most sensitive customers that we've ever had, that are like literally sensitive to like Windex and stuff, walked into it way cautiously, and we were able to say, we can do this for you. Like, yeah, we'll take care of your mold, no problem, and we're gonna fog every square inch of your house, and you'll be okay. They've been totally fine. Again, never any record of any adverse health reactions to it, any allergic reactions, nothing like that. Again, on very sheen surfaces, you might see some from the fog, and it really honestly kind of depends on how heavy we fog. Now, if it's in an unfinished basement, and there was a lot of mold, a lot of tear out, a lot of debris, we set up containment areas for dust and debris, but we fog extra heavy in some situations. I remember an instance where we had literally a wall of Gibson guitars, like over $100,000 worth of guitars, fogged right on top of them. Yeah. Some sensitive paintings will cover up just kind of as a, make sure nothing happens. But again, I myself have fogged over expensive paintings, and they've been just fine.
Have you ever done a house with fentanyl in it?
We've done a car, yeah. Yep. Yep.
Andrew, there was one time when you were out for a moment that I personally did a fentanyl job. It came from a stepdad, so they would bring the toys over to the stepdad's home, and then he was using fentanyl, and it came back and it read positive on the kids' toys. So yeah, I personally did a fentanyl removal job.
That's terrible.
Yeah.
What are toys away?
So that was basically a full gut of that room, and then we treated all the toys, all the bed frame, everything in that room to make sure it was safe for the kids to come back in.
When you said a full gut, what does that mean?
So,
Gutted the room?
yeah. Actually, no. In that time, we did not, just because it was a light reading. And it was mostly on the toys. But we made sure we took everything out and individually cleaned it with our product to make sure that the fentanyl was neutralized. But in some severe cases, yeah, we would take like the drywall out, for example, or the flooring, but not typically.
If the like meth is the same way. We have kind of a standard for the reading. If it's high enough, that means it's penetrated the drywall, and then insulation needs to be tore out. We need to treat the studs, the sill plates, the subfloor.
Rebuilding the house.
What's that?
You were building the house.
Well, and again, it's so in my experience when we're reading meth reports, even some of the worst readings, it's just a room or two. Even one room over, the readings weren't very high where they would just need a fogging. The state of Michigan, so if meth is ever found in a home, if there was arrest made at a home, at a residence, the state police have to come and they have to bring the health department in, essentially red tag the home. Then we go in, they test again, and then they take that red tag off the house to approve that there's no meth chemicals. Literally have never failed one of those tests. They pass every single time.
On the subject of meth, are there any warning signs for us to look for if we were to suspect that, or I don't know, maybe a vacant house? I don't even know when that would
What are you
happen.
looking for?
Staining on the floors is one of them.
Staining.
Because if it's spilling out during the cooking process,
Cooking.
yep,
What about meth use?
there's none. That's the dangerous part.
And does that leave toxins
Oh yeah,
in the
Oh,
home and
yes.
stuff if somebody's just been smoking it?
absolutely it does. Yep, and it stays there. It's kind of like mold. It stays there forever until it's properly remediated.
Does that have a smell? You can tell how
I think so, but I don't know what it smells like.
Yep. So meth. Oh, it's kind of weird. It's nutty.
Nutty?
It's kind of like an almost like a
earthy?
yeah, like an organic-ish smell. One of my first meth inspections, I didn't realize I needed to be completely suited up, and I walked into the room and it hit me. Like it smelled like somebody had a ton of dirt in that room. Called the owner and I'm like, man, it stunk. Like it was kind of weird. He's like, what? Like, oh my goodness, no. Yeah. So if anybody has smelled cockroaches, similar to cockroaches, but
Smell?
yeah, cockroaches smell again kind of earthy.
Like there's an infestation?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. We had one. We decontaminated a house in Lansing just a few weeks ago, or months ago now. But all the cupboards, every one you opened smelled like peanuts and just kind of gross. But meth smells like that, but like almost like somebody poured bleach over it. So it's like kind of a chemically earthy smell. There's really no way to tell. And the sad part is, unless there was an arrest made at the house or a report,
No real like record.
there's no record at all. None.
So can you guys detect mold in a home if it's been like attempted to be covered? Like they've
Them or
put
themselves?
kills over it, painted it, like can you still detect it?
Absolutely.
Okay,
Absolutely.
okay.
We see it all the time. So again, there's three components to mold: the roots, the surface, and the air. So if you just kills over it, you still have the roots, right? You've essentially taken that top of the plant, the surface, and it came off with the roller when they painted. But when it bleeds through, when the roots try to start growing again, they come through either like yellow or orange, depending on the mold species. But we'll see it, and it only takes a few days. Now mold requires two things to grow or to continue growing: a host, which is a cellulose-like material, wood, cardboard, even stone, cinder block basements, stuff like that, and the proper humidity or moisture content. So if you're in a basement like we saw, and there's the proper humidity and moisture, the humidity, it requires 55% or higher, and the moisture content is about 20% or more. If mold has those conditions, it's going to grow like wild. And mold doesn't ever die. It just goes into what's called a dormant state, which just only means it's still alive. It's just not spewing out spores. And again, those spores are what get us sick. So if it has all those conditions, it doesn't matter what you put on top of it. It's going to grow right through it. And again, it only takes a few days.
Is there a visible way to determine like or distinguish between like the two really bad ones?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Are you gonna show us what they look like or how
Well, I could kind of tell.
they...
So
What do you fear for me?
yeah. So Chaetomium mold looks like almost somebody had taken a black paintbrush and just went like that against the wall. There'll be dots everywhere, and it'll look kind of fuzzy. It'll look kind of, Chaetomium cotton. Stachybotrys will be more of a together pattern. There will be little colonies that are about the size of a tennis ball, and really no smaller than like the size of a quarter. Both black, they can both be green, they can both be orange. There is millions of subspecies of every mold. But again, the four that we see primarily are again, the two black ones and then the two white ones or green, which are humidity based.
Is all mold that's black mold?
No.
Okay.
Nope. There's one called Cladosporium, which is black, and it primarily you'll find it on vinyl windows or older windows. And believe it or not, it's non-toxic. So it's again not, to answer your question, not all black molds are toxic, but the two that we find primarily are, my personal testimony, trying to kill us.
Yeah.
And the stuff, if you find it like, let's say in your bathroom, like on old caulk or something like that, you can literally just bleach it or vinegar it, and that's what kills it.
What about like the ceilings in the bathrooms?
It's a good question. We get that a lot. So that is a toxic mold, and that does require proper remediation because that's growing into the drywall. The roots have developed into the drywall, and it requires proper remediation. It's an easy fix, though, too. Again, a lot of the times the bathroom fan just isn't working or it's too old. Easy fix for us, and most any general contractor really can do that for pretty cheap. But that does require, yeah.
I'm gonna need you to talk to my husband.
Okay. Yeah.
We're fogging this place whether you like it or not.
We're gonna fog it.
Just in case.
So, yeah, so anyways, we understand with my past real estate experience, I understand the importance of it. Again, we've put in certain processes and procedures for you guys and for you guys only. We know that if you're lucky enough to have more than a 24-hour inspection period, you still might only have 2 or 3 days or a weekend. And we need to get you this information, this remediation plan, as soon as humanly possible. So we try and get the job done for you right now. Yes?
Just something to think about. Lately, I've taken some calls where I haven't found out till the end of the conversation that they're a realtor and that they're on a timeline. So you might want to just come forward with that right away and say, hi, I'm, Sue from blah, 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 and our deadline is 24 hours or 3 days or whatever. And that helps
Yep.
me right away from the beginning to make sure I can get you in as soon as possible.
Yep.
To be fair, like there are times too where we can always extend inspections just for something specific too.
Mhm.
I've had to do that before. Like, hey, there
Yeah.
might be mold in the attic. Can we have 10 more days to look into it? You
Yep.
know, just you want to suggest that. So
Yeah, that's a good idea.
That's a great
case
idea.
By case, like you said, it depends on where the inspectors are. If they're 2 hours away,
Yeah.
it might not happen that evening, but maybe first thing the next
Yep.
morning or something like that.
Yep. And I mean, again, we understand you guys are busy and you need this stuff, but we also know, like she said, if we got an inspector in Lansing and the other's in Muskegon and it's 6 p.m., we appreciate your grace too. I mentioned Adam Parlberg. Does everybody know who that is? Oh, he's the best. I love him. One of the things that he would really press was that kind of, you're an agent. Yes, you're their representative, but also they're looking for you to be have the resource for their plumbing and their electrical. And if I think I heard somebody say that you've got a transfer or you're representing a transplant. Sorry, I guess they're not here anymore. But if they're moving from Tennessee, they have no idea who, they might see the big yellow plumbing truck, but they might not be the best. Maybe you have a guy.
Yeah, we're doing one right now for a girl that's coming from Seattle, and her mom was trying to help set things up on this end. So yeah.
Yep. We would love the opportunity to become your mold resource. I want you guys to put my number in your phone as the mold guy, right? I can't remember his name. I know he almost died and he's a Cubs fan, but he's my mold guy now. We want to try and earn that from you guys, right? Because again, we understand too that when you give my card to your clients, you're trusting that. You're saying, hey, Andrew's got you. Andrew's going to be able to take care of this. Don't worry about it. They're going to take, he said something about the air and this and the roots and everything. I don't know. But I know they're going to take care of it for you. And they're going to give you a warranty for the life. I want to earn that from you guys, right? Because I know you can trust us, but I want to prove it to you guys. With mold remediation, the typical remediation cost across the industry is anywhere between $6,000 and $8,000. We have some that are that high. We have some that are more than that. We have some that are less than that. But my whole point is, it's like this isn't just a $200 thing where you just kind of throw it and forget about it. This is an investment. So I do implore you to shop around. I do implore you to say, hey, listen, this is a $6,000 remediation. I really liked everything Andrew said, but I want to see what all these other companies do. I can almost guarantee you guys, not everybody is doing the air like we are. Not everybody is treating the whole home like we are. Not everybody is using the product like we are. I only think of one guy in Grand Rapids that we sell our product to. We would sell it to everybody if we could, but not everybody wants it. So again, we want to be your resource. We want to earn your business, and more importantly, we don't want mold to stop the sale for you. Again, as a former realtor, I understand there's enough roadblocks in real estate. Mold doesn't have to be one of them. And I want to get you guys to the finish line just as bad as you guys do. I understand it's a tough process. There's a ton of competition. You guys all in this room are, I'm sure, phenomenal real estate agents. And you don't have to let mold stop the sale. Any other questions?
Do you have any online marketing material that would be available? Because for me on the agent website, I have, different pages for different, just people that I recommend.
Mhm.
And if you have anything that could be displayed on said website or for me to print off or to hand to clients in packages.
Yeah, I mean, we have our website obviously is one thing, but we are working on an entire online marketing campaign. Are you looking for more of like a pamphlet, like an online PDF or?
PDF or something that I could provide electronically as well.
Yeah, I mean, I could, if you give me your card, I can send you all types of stuff.
I don't have a card right now.
Okay, that's probably a good thing. But yeah, no, just I'll write your information down and then I can email it to you. I can even send some stuff to Brittany so that she can disperse it to the office. Yeah, we can absolutely do that, and we are, with Evan's help. Absolutely, with Evan's help, we're going to be getting Facebook going, Instagram, TikTok, whatever else is out there. So we want to be way more accessible than we already are. So we'll be getting that live here. Hopefully, if he stops breaking his arms, we'll be able to get it done. Yeah. The mold talked back.
Oh, got 'em.
Yeah, it's a great question. I appreciate you asking. Did everybody get their information on the sheet for CE?
Working on it.
Okay, excellent.
I think everyone, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, yeah. We're all